Hi everyone, my name's Anthony Cummins and welcome to this. Now this video is a bit of an update, a bit of a catch up and a bit of a, bring everybody back to the centre. So I'm going to do a very quick catch up here because so people understand where we're up to. Years ago everybody believed ninjutsu was a hand-to-hand combat specialised. The ninja were peasants and they were oppressed by the samurai, so they developed guerrilla tactics to get rid of the evil samurai, and they were the honourable peasants and everything. And of course we've got rid of all this, but of course that means there's something we can never get around is the fact that most of the people who studied ninjutsu in the ninja boom era did a ninja martial art. And of course we now pretty much everybody has come to the same conclusion that there is no such thing as a ninja martial art. But of course, because I've set out to try and show everyone that ninjutsu is not a martial art and they weren't peasants and it wasn't this, and a few years on now we've established that, but this has caused problems because there is no way to get around the fact that the two crash head on. Some people have spent decades believing that, invested in that, and I've come along and said no, and supplied the proof, and people have like, there's no way to get past that. So we have now formed into two factions, the historical manual faction and the ninja enthusiasts, or the ninja boom enthusiasts, or those who did the ninja martial arts and everything. It's pure hatred now. Now this is the worrying bit, is the actual hatred between people who share a passion for the same thing, which is scary. But the other day I came along, I bought, and I gave in. I didn't want to buy it, but I thought in the end, yes I should. I bought Hayes' new book, The Complete Ninja Collection by Stephen Hayes. Now the reason I didn't want to buy this is because I have the originals, of course, and this is what started all the ninja martial arts, and it is not Stephen Hayes' fault. He went to Japan and that's what he learned and that's what he distributed. I still to this day think Stephen Hayes is in the best position because he's the guy who can say, why would I not trust them? I went there, this is what they taught me. And he does do in the new intro, and I don't blame him, that's exactly what he did. No one would have known the difference. It's only now with the age of the internet and such frequent flying to Japan and ability to get through the archives and and to be honest, not even that, I've just put together a team that can do that, and we've had the opportunity to go through the archives. What you guys don't understand is the hours, months and years that have gone in the background and to put, travel around Japan and get these. Stephen Hayes didn't have that at the time, but we've got it now, so we travel around Japan and that's what we do. So I don't blame Mr. Hayes for this. But when I was reading it, I realised, with all this crashing head on and people hating each other and just pure horrible attitudes towards each other, I was reading some of Hayes' books and I was flipping through it. And it made me remember something, and it made me remember the level and the dedication and the love that basically the ninja boom enthusiasts have for ninjutsu, but of course the wrong ninjutsu, the ninja martial art. But that doesn't mean the love and the dedication to the art is not real. They do. And it made me realise, because I was one of you guys, I was one of the Bujinkan, went to Hatsumi, I went to Japan, I read the Stephen Hayes books, and I read the Andrew Adams Ninja Assassins, and wow, this secret ninja martial art, and I was one of you. But eventually it was just like, no, this is not clicking in, so it's not right. And I'd done my history training, that made my master's degree in history, and I was just like, this is seriously not clicking. I need to find out the truth. I mean, we all know that story, hopefully. That's where I got to. But it doesn't stop people having this vested interest, this real solid interest in the ninja, and it made me understand the hatred. So this video is to try and bring everyone back down from this hatred. And originally I wanted to combine people into Ichigun Ichimi, one district, one band, let's work together under your different schools, but that's it. But it's just not working, and it hasn't worked, and it's been the biggest failure to date actually. And what I have achieved is a pure segregation between those who are historical, the historical accuracy people who follow the scrolls, and those who follow, the modern masters who claim something different. What I did is I went away, got the books, got the scrolls, got them out, and I was like, I need to find the truth of this, and I want to produce the truth. So I produced the scrolls so you could read it for yourselves, and I got this team put together. And of course it was my dream goal, and it was also so the world could understand it, which is just a passion of, you've got to remember, you guys out there on the other team, your passion is so, much for Hatsune Hatsumi, and for them, my passion is equal to the scrolls. It's absolutely, they were the real ninja at the real time doing the real job. You can't take that away from them. These guys, you know, were real people, and they learnt the skills, and they've written the skills, and they've saved them for us. Chikamatsu's got all the skills, and he just gave them to us, and you know, we shouldn't dishonour that. So what we have to do is we have to remember one thing, that nobody can change history. Whatever I say, whatever Hatsumi says, whatever Stephen Hayes says, whatever Krista says, Greg Pat, anyone, you can never change what actually happened in history. What happened. All we can do is record it correctly. That's all we got to do. And I personally, the reason I'm so passionate about history and the history of ninja is we have to do that. We are obligated to retain it. So some people have a passion for Knights Templars, some people have a passion for recipes and cooking in medieval time. Everybody falls, like recently there was a woman who had a passion for finding Richard III of England. What a crazy passion. I am going to find Richard III of England's body. And she did it. She found it, and now they're going to have a state funeral for Richard III, all because she had a burning passion to find the truth. And she has discovered and changed history. And we owe it to people in history to give them that. But there's a big problem at the minute. There's just a blank. I have produced the Shoninki and everybody's like, you know, maybe there was something different. Yeah, that's not martial arts. Then you produce the Nimpiden, the Gunpo Gyoshu, the Koka scrolls, the 100 Yoshimori scrolls, and people are like, whoa, you know, then they start to get angry and angry, but cornered. And then we did the Chikamatsu scrolls, which are immense pieces of scrolls. They were amazing. And then it's like bang, 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 bang. And then you've got the Bansen Shukai came. It was like, poof. Bansen Shukai, boom, you know, there. So you've got this mass sort of collection of real ninja scrolls now, and that has created a real problem. It's put a divide. I see the Bansen Shukai as a big wall, and I see there's people on this side and people on that side. The Bansen Shukai has divided people, and I want to try and bring you back together, guys. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying. I tried it with Chris the other day to email him, you know. I'll explain that in a minute. I'm running out of time. Hold on. Right. So basically we've raised a division, and people no longer say what's the truth of the matter. You've got people like Thomas Urso who are going around, and they're like the voice of reason between my passion and the Budokan passion. And you got Thomas sort of in the middle saying, actually no, this guys, and no, it's a bit of that, and you know that, you know, there's people there. But on the whole, you've got people who no longer look for the truth. They just, my aim has always been the same. I ignore anything modern. Totally ignore it, and at first I didn't, but now that's my absolute rule, is ignore that which is modern and focus on that which is history. And if it's in history, it's in history, and I put it there. And I only work from primary sources as much as possible, and we deal, and as you all know, we've published primary sources. I won't hark on about that, because basically what we publish can't be that, you know, they are written by Ninja, that is what it is, bang. So sorry guys, I lost my train of thought there. Right, so we've got this, no longer people on this side are trying to find out the truth about ninjutsu or their own art or anything. They just go, what did Anthony Cummins do? Right, well, let's find something wrong with it because we've got to prove him wrong. Proving me wrong will not change history, guys. That is one thing you've misunderstood. My team are not going anywhere. We are going to produce manuals for as long as I'm alive, and as long as Yoshi is alive, and as long as we can keep going. There'll be manuals coming out. We've got all the Natoryu stuff, got loads of it. Now people are now going down the boat, right? Oh, we knew it. You didn't, because people like Don Role in the past used to give out, remember, he used to give out the Shoninki to those who were deserved, or there were some people who used the very, very partial translation on that people. People often go back to the translation done by the Genpei. Guys, it's tiny. The Bansen Shukai is like this big, the translation they did was about this big. It was minute. The Shoninki is about this big, the translation about this big. It was tiny amounts. So you didn't know it. If you did know it, everybody would have knew it, and it would have been in there. So the Bansen Shukai's out. Right, okay. Right, so basically the cat's out of the bag now. There's no going back. We've, like, you know, taken the blue pill or the red pill or whatever, and that we've found real ninjutsu, and we've got to now match it together with what people's invested interests are. So what I want to do is I've contacted, so quickly, there's been a big blank now. People are buying. Now, this is not a video to create more sales. Most of my videos are about sales. Yeah, I do this not for fun, to produce sales. I run the Facebook page to produce sales. That's absolutely correct. But what's happened now is we've got the sales. The Bansen Shukai sold out its first copy, first print. It's now in the second print. I've got my first copy of the second print out, and we're now correcting the Bansen Shukai for the third print. So the sales are fine, but I'm not trying to say that the sales are fine. What I'm trying to prove is that this is not an ask for sales. Sales are fine. But what's happened is that there's a big blank. Nobody's talking about the scrolls. Nobody. Now, of course, we know they're right. You know, I'm not going to say, nobody's qualified to say they're right, but we've done our best job, and I think people by now know the scrolls, the translations are fine. Yoshi is amazing at this, and I've got them out to you, there they are. So what we've got is a problem is that there's just a wall of silence on the scrolls, wall of silence, but they're being bought, they're selling, so it's like selling on wall of silence. This is not my aim, guys. My aim was never to get... And I've even had people, you know, like Dean did the semi-little video where it crossed into the conspiracy theory, and the Bujikan went down the, oh, well, you know, this is a conspiracy theory put together by different people across time to hide together. I was like, whoa, getting crazy, guys. Let's nail that one. Let's nip that in the bud. And I think we did that because I put that video up and quickly people stopped talking like that. It was crazy talk. So this is what I want to do, is avoid the craziness. So what I've done is, the only thing I can think of is people are buying the book, reading it, going, whoa, that's great, you know, because I love the Bansen Shukai when I read it. And then they're going, what do I do with this? Put it on the shelf. What do I do? And then they read it and like, but what can I do with it? So I'm now going to ask a favour of as many people as possible. I've contacted Krista. I've asked Dean this a few times actually, but Dean's never come back round to it. I don't know why. And I've emailed Don, but I've got no answer from Don. I've emailed a couple of people. Greg Park never really came back on this. But I've got a request of everyone, and that is to actually put some invested interest into the original scrolls, so the truth gets out there. And I don't mean the truth opposed to your truth or your belief. What I mean is that we do study these manuals, because that's the point. What's the point of having the manuals if you don't study them? So now Don, apparently I've been told he's going to do his own Bansen Shukai. Best of luck with that, Don. It's a massive, and you'll probably lose all your friends and your wife and time and your life, because it took us 3 years to do it. It was absolutely chaotic. So good luck with that, Don. I hope you do it. And like you did the Shoninki, I will buy a copy, absolutely, and I will study it and I will research it, and I hope you find some things we got wrong. But what I want you to do, people like Don, Krista, so in short, the only person who said yes to this is Krista. I want us to now do a Bansen Shukai study universally. So if you're a Bujinkan member, you're a Genbukan member, you're a Budo Ryu member, you're a Greg Park member, Chosen Ryu member, you're a Nato Ryu member, whatever you are, let's just take one of the books to start with. Let's start with the Bansen Shukai. And you can get anybody who speaks Japanese. So if, I know Krista had a translation pre-me, she had some bits from there, so you can do it. Now I know Don Rowley speaks Japanese and you get some of the translations from him. Doesn't matter where you get your translations from. Of course, use our translation as a comparison. That's the point of me putting translations out there. But I want people to start talking about the Bansen Shukai for the simple reason that if you talk about it, people will study real ninjutsu, and real ninjutsu will get in there, which is my only goal. My only goal is to make sure people study the truth and reality. So what we need to do is take a bit of a step back, guys. It's just a hobby. And back to Stephen Hayes, when I read his book, I know how invested we get in these things, and I know it. But when you get to the point where you're like, you will find anything wrong with anyone. You will hate Ben Morgan. You will argue with Ben Morgan. You will do this. You will form sides just for your own personal benefit is not good. We need to, even if we hate each other, we all love ninja, and we all owe it to people like Fujibayashi, Natori Masazumi, Masatake, Chikamatsu Shigenori. We need to get together and study their text. They left us the text for a reason. We are not Japanese, we are English, but you have them in English now, and you have the chance to study real ninja manuals, even alongside your Bujikan training. Hatsumi says the Shoninki, Bansen Shukai, Nippiden, they're all top quality. Everybody knows. You're joking and kidding yourself if you don't think that the Bansen Shukai, the Nippiden, Gunpo Joshu are not top quality ninja scrolls. You're just barking mad at that point. So study them, guys. They're there to be studied, and make noise about them and teach people about them. Get them out there. Right, I better go. That's all that. Guys, let's try and tone down on the hatred. I don't mind everybody hating, and I don't mind, you know, everybody arguing, but just do it in a nice fashion. You're human. I have rules on my site. I actually only have one rule: only speak about things before 1868. The other rule, like don't insult people, is a human rule. It's let's not, I don't walk up to people in the street and say, "Hey, ugly bastard, you're a dick." I don't ever say it, ever, and neither would you. So let's stop that. It's a bit childish. Right, I've got to go. I think that's my time up. And I will see you. Hopefully I'll take a bit of a break. And see you in about a month. See you later.